In this video, we're going to cover local storage and session storage in JavaScript. Keep watching until the end of the video to see how to use the Application tab in DevTools, which will help you keep track of what's been stored. Hey guys, and welcome to Azul Coding. To get started, I've set up some HTML and CSS to give us a table that will display all the key value pairs we've stored, as well as giving us the option to add a new pair, update the values we have, and remove them entirely. All the code in this video is available from the link in the description down below. Let's talk about local storage first. Local storage is essentially a way to store values in the browser so that when the user exits your website and comes back another day, those values will be reloaded. One example use case is for storing the user's theme preferences such as light mode and dark mode. These values in local storage don't have any particular expiration date unless you're in an incognito tab, in which case it'll get cleared once the tab is closed. So let's take a look at how we can add some items to local storage. On each row of this HTML table, we'll have a text box for the key and a text box for the corresponding value. We've also got a button next to the text boxes to confirm and add the key value pair. In this tBody tag, we'll add rows like this that represent the key value pairs that are contained in local storage. The button on the right, however, will now remove the key value pair. Let's take a look at the JavaScript code. As you can see, I've already created some constants that represent the add button, key and value text boxes for adding in a key value pair, and the tBody item list that we'll add new rows to. Let's set up a function to add a row to the HTML first. It'll take in a key and a value, and I'll copy in the HTML for the new row. As you can see, we've got a key and value text box, but I've disabled the key text box so that can't be changed, and we're essentially appending this to the item list in the HTML. We'll add a click event listener to the add button next. If the user clicks on it and hasn't entered a key or value, we'll display an alert message like so. And similarly, we can check if the given key already exists. We'll use LocalStorage.getItem here, and if it returns null, that means the key doesn't exist. If we have a valid key and value, we can use LocalStorage.setItem and pass it the key and value to add that item to local storage. We'll then use the addItem function we made earlier to add the row to the HTML. And let's also clear the text boxes user has filled in. Let's try it out by adding a couple of key value pairs. And as you can see, the alert messages are displayed as intended. If we refresh the page, you can see that those items we added have now disappeared. That's because we need to add any existing local storage items to the UI once we load the page. We can do that using a DOM content loaded event listener, which will run once the page is ready. We'll loop through the entries in local storage like so, and we'll make use of our addItem function, passing in the key, which is the first element, and the value, which is the second element. As you can see, the page now shows the items we added earlier. Let's now add the functionality to the delete buttons so we can remove certain items. We'll add in a delete item function here that takes in the remove button the user has clicked on, as well as the key in local storage. We can use LocalStorage.removeItem and pass in the key to remove a key value pair. We'll call this function from the remove button, so to remove the tr row element, we'll need to get the parent, which is the td element, and the parent of that, which is the tr element. Let's then add a call to the function in the HTML code up here, so that when the button gets clicked, it'll remove the item. If we try removing this item here and refresh the page, now we know the item's been removed successfully. If we want to update the value of the other item here, let's add in a updateItem function, which will take in the value text box that's been updated, as well as the key to update in local storage. We can simply override the value by using LocalStorage.setItem again, getting the value from the text box, and let's add in a confirmation message to the console as well. We'll call this function when the value of the text box is changed and the user has clicked out of it. I'll open up the console to demonstrate it. After refreshing, we can be sure that the value has indeed updated. Now let's move on to session storage next. Session storage is very similar to local storage, but it's set to expire when the session ends. For instance, when I close this tab, the session will be cleared, so it'll only last for as long as the browser tab remains open. I've now changed all references to local storage on our code to session storage, and you can see that there's already a value in there coming from the live server extension in VS Code. If I add in a new value here, A few things to bear in mind: refreshing the page won't have any effect on the value. If I copy this URL into a new tab, we can see that a new session has been created as the value's gone. But if I were to duplicate the original tab, the session data gets copied across. Also, if there were some links on this page that opened in a new tab, that would trigger a new session. If we take a look in the console now, you can see the session storage does indeed contain the keys listed above, and if I removed one, you can see that that gets updated in the console here as well. But there's an easy way to debug local storage and session storage. Now we'll finish off by looking at the Application tab in DevTools. This tab in Chrome makes it much easier to keep track of what's going on in local storage and session storage. We can add, update and remove values just as we could before. Let's add in a new value to session storage. When we refresh the page, that value gets added to the UI as expected. And one more function that I didn't mention was LocalStorage.clear and SessionStorage.clear, which simply clears all the items like so. If you're looking for some example apps, I've created a suite of desktop apps that are all open source. I've also made a language learning site built with 11t that's 100% free. Check them both out in the description down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to keep up to date with the latest from Azure coding. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.